So just to recap, in the green room, we were having a conversation because Cynthia's had a really bad mother effing week and a really bad day. And she was continuing the story. And so I started off the show with us just continuing on. So we're going to let her vent and then we're going to be in happiness mode. We're going to let it out.
Yes.
But basically, when we do a little recap, you got money stolen from you today at your office. We're trying to figure out, I'm all in the investigation now. The cops are involved in her office. Somebody came in and was in the hallway that seemed somebody that might be a courier or a messenger or something. So no one thought anything of it. But now they're realizing that this person might be an oddity. But the police are involved, but they stole stuff out of her wallet. It was a big to-do. I know. Okay, Cynthia, I'm sorry. I just want to give a recap.
Yeah, that's pretty much that was just today.
That's today.
That was today. Monday, of course, they started with the layoffs. I'm okay. My job's okay, thankfully. But a couple of my coworkers were let go. And it was just the way that they did it was just really kind of messed up, I think.
How did they do it?
So they didn't even wait till like the end of the day or like even tell them before they came in. No, they waited till like everybody was in their offices, everyone was there. And it was like 10:30, 11 o'clock was like, they pulled this person into the office. And like 10, 15 minutes later, the person comes back into the office crying. And she's like, today's my last day. And, like in front of other people. And it's just like, okay, this is not the way you do things. Like you just embarrassing this poor person who's been there for 36 years too.
No.
Yeah.
Is this the person that you don't like, though?
Not that I don't like her. She was a little annoying at times, but
right.
You know.
She was the older person that we were. Yeah. Okay, but still, it's the way they did it. But it wasn't just her. Yeah. You said there were massive layoffs, right, at the hospital.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And in our department, there were 3. In my sister's department, there were 20.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, all on the same day. And it was just bad. Yeah. And
wow.
Yeah, and it's just been crazy. And I've been doing so much work. I'm doing the work of like 3 or 4 people right now. So, and then for this to happen today, and it's not even Friday the 13th, it's Thursday the 13th, like, and this happened today. I'm like,
I'm just really sorry. I was going to cancel today because she responded in the email, when I send out the link or whatever. And I was thinking about canceling. And then I was like, but she said she wants to talk about it on the show. And I'm like, so I was a little confused.
Yeah, I just needed to vent a little, but I needed some joy. I need some good stuff happen,
Sure.
Ta-da!
I'd get up and tap dance for you, but I don't think that'll work.
You got room. You got the floors. Go for it.
It might be funny. Well, so they're doing an investigation. They think they might know who it might be. It might be the gentleman that everyone thought was a messenger or whatever. And that person might have ties to someone else in the office.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely seemed like it was kind of a person who knew exactly where to go.
Well, that's what I was saying. Okay, because you know what? They went into her backpack and they only took cash. Now, I'm sorry. I grew up in the hood. We wouldn't just risk all that for cash. I would have taken your credit cards. I would have taken some other stuff, whatever little things you had on there. And you have a lot of Disney stuff on your desk, huh? I would have taken some
stuff. Yeah. Like, it was just the cash.
Yeah. So they it's just a weird thing. Yeah. So, I mean, either way, it sucks. I'm so sorry. Rick,
so
how you doing?
Like targeted, like they knew, like you said, they knew where to go. They knew,
right. And it's not like I don't really talk to that many people in my department, anyways. And you know what I mean? It's like I have a Mickey Mouse backpack.
Everybody.
Right, I know, right? I have like a Mickey Mouse backpack. You know what I'm saying? Like I look like a school kid when I walk in the office. So it's
that's
like,
why I think it's somebody who knew. That's why I'm like, they just took cash. First of all, that's why I was being so mean to you in the green room. I mean, I wasn't really, but I was like, why do you have $1,000 of cash? No, who carries $1,000 of cash? Okay. I'm just saying that's why I was I know somebody would know that you're carrying cash.
But that's the thing. No one knows that I carry cash.
Everyone knows now.
Well, we know now. So there.
You need to invest in Zelle and Venmo. Seriously, all of you.
Yeah. No, I usually do, and that's the thing. And it's like I happen to have cash this time because I usually only use my card. I happen to have cash on me because um someone I had lent money to had just paid me back, and I was going to deposit it because they didn't have Zelle or whatever, and I was going to deposit it right after work, thinking, I'm in the office, I'm in a secure place, no one comes and bothers me, but nowhere
Come on,
safe
Cynthia.
apparently.
Tell the truth. You know you're getting ready to go to the strip club.
Ah! Don't make it rain.
And officer, it was all singles. I don't know.
I know.
They paid me back in singles.
And it's not even the fact that they stole the money. It's just a security thing. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
you don't feel safe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That I was gonna say, it's that part of it is
Yeah.
they violated your space, really,
Yep.
your safe
And
space.
where I sit, it's like you literally, when you come in the office, you literally have to go around another desk to even find my desk. So that's why I feel like it's
Right.
somebody knew something.
Yeah.
Or saw something.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And you guys don't have cameras in the offices.
Oh no, the Boston police are in the building when you walk in.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what that
bold.
means.
They were
They
very
were
bold.
really and where my desk is, literally the doctor's office is right next to me. His door's always open. So it's like this person had some serious balls because you don't know if he's sitting in there. There's another office next and the door is closed. You don't know if anybody's behind that door. You're taking a
I think
chance.
the person does. They've cased the place. Look, we're like
Yeah,
dun
they've been there
dun. I
before.
like that. They've been there before. They know something because that don't make no sense.
Mhm.
Why would you
That's
go to a
right.
Mickey Mouse book bag? Why
Right.
would you even think about that?
I'm waiting
Well,
for
you
that.
know what?
Exactly.
I got robbed in Boston, so I'm sorry.
Okay.
I did. I got robbed in Boston.
Okay.
In the
Boston,
mall.
the
In
theft
the
capital
mall.
of the world, right? Like all of a sudden.
It's Boston. It's all Boston. Sorry. Come on to LA.
Go ahead, Rick. What were you gonna say?
No, I was joking. I was going to say I was waiting for that dunk dunk sound like
Yeah.
this.
Right.
Law and order. I know,
Law
right?
and
So
order.
my house was broken into. This was years ago. Mom was still lucid. She had dementia, and I wasn't home, and she wasn't home. She was visiting my dad in a nursing home. I was bringing my son back to his mom's house, like 45 minutes away, and I had just dropped him off, and then I'm getting a call from my mom, and a good portion of that road there's no reception, and she called me right before the reception cut off, and all I got was, we just got robbed. We just got robbed. And I was like, what? Ma, ma, ma. Reception going, I hit the gas. I didn't care. Cops, nothing. Because I'm thinking she was in the house.
Right.
Did they do
You're
something
getting
for
robbed.
her?
Right.
I didn't know what to think. So
Oh.
I jet. And then she was like, oh no, I was with your dad. I was like, you could have told me that. But
Now you got the cops right behind you.
Yeah.
so what they did was they took a rock and smashed the window and then just reached in and unlocked the door. And we even have a dog. He did nothing because he's so friendly. But
So
yeah,
much pressure on the puppies. I'm just telling you, like they're not all like guard dogs.
they can't get
You
a break.
did nothing. You
But
did nothing, little Pepe.
The worst part was she had put in a locked box, not jewelry, cash, no, her passport, her American citizenship papers, all like legal documents, and of course
Yes.
there's going to be some
There's
good stuff.
money. There's
Yeah.
And now we have none of that. I called to find out how much, because before you get a passport, you got to prove your American citizenship for her, whatever. And I said, how much does it cost? Because obviously it's going to cost something. It's the government. So I said, how much does it cost to get a copy of that? She said, oh, it'll be about $600. I said, excuse me?
Whoa.
Wait a minute, blah.
Wait.
I said,
$600 for what? For a passport? That's not right.
no.
It's
The
the
documentation.
naturalization
The
document.
naturalization
Oh,
document.
yeah, that I can't help you with.
So I said, hold on. You're telling me a piece of paper, not made out of gold, costs $600. I made her repeat it 5 times because I couldn't believe it. I was like, $600 for a piece of paper. So yeah, we still have a copy.
Is that because it's from Portugal? Is it because you have to go to Portugal to get it? What
Well,
do
I
you?
mean, she's an American citizen.
Right.
Legally, she did all that process. My dad did too, but they stole that. So to renew the passport, that's one of the things she needs, because she wasn't born here, and so no passport, no nothing. So yeah, but we ain't going nowhere anyway, so we don't care anymore. But at the time, it was like, Mom, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Who wants to
So
steal
when
it?
you become an American citizen, they give you a certificate, like with your picture, your naturalization number, all of that. So then you need that certificate in order to get your passport. So then that's what you were trying to replace, was that actual certificate. $600.
That's insane.
Oh.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
I was having a heart attack driving in the car, thinking, did they? You know, your brain goes crazy. Did they? I didn't care about stolen. I was care about my mom. Did they do something?
Right?
That's
Yeah.
what you care about.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. Like they say, things can be replaced. People can't.
Right.
So,
and it is a huge.
Well, clearly not for $600. I'm just saying, it's a lot of money to get things replaced. I mean, they can be replaced, but it's like $600.
Right.
That's a lot of money.
It's a huge violation, and it's like it takes a while to get over that. To be honest with you, it really does. So,
but you're gonna be all right.
This was
Juan's gonna walk you to work every day. He gonna sit by you. He gonna look over your shoulder.
Look at she laughing.
Right.
He ain't going nowhere.
When Carmen wins the lottery, ain't none of us got to worry about money no more.
Right. Carmen will win the lottery and give Rick a day off. It's gonna be great.
A day. I said half a day. Let's be
half
a day.
Damn, you got sliced in half, Rick. Dang.
It's worse and worse the more I talk about it. I gotta shut up.
I don't have an experience. I mean, knock on wood right now, of anything being stolen from me. But we've all been violated in very different ways. And like, it is your personal space and your safety that becomes the thing to get used to again. You don't feel safe, and it doesn't matter what you do to protect yourself, right? Because sometimes you can't see it coming.
Right, yeah.
But you will get there again.
Oh, no, you will. I mean, you will, especially because you're gonna. And I hate to say it this way because it sounds like I'm blaming the victim, and I'm not. But what are we never going to do again? We already know one of the things we're never going to do again is have $1,000 in our backpack. Like, you're never going to do that again. I promise you. You know what I mean?
You're gonna say, "Can you Zelle me?"
And if people can't Zelle you, like, okay, I'm not going to keep harping on the money thing, but that's one of the things. You know what I mean? Like, things that I don't do anymore is I do not walk anywhere by myself at night. It just doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, I do not, like, I used to do that as a kid all the time. I would walk from Forbes Street to Rosemary Street, 1 o'clock in the morning. And that's
have no care in the world.
Not a care in the world. What is it? 2 miles, 2.5 miles, maybe?
Yeah, about, yeah.
I would walk as a kid, and then I learned a very valuable lesson, never to do that again. You know what I mean? And from that to, and what was I, 14 when all that happened? When it's nighttime out, I don't care if I'm at a party, if I'm like at a guest house or whatever, somebody's home and whatever, and we're having a party and I have to walk to my car, I will ask someone to walk me to my car. And I don't care if it's across the street. You know what I mean? And again, that whole bougie, Carmen's so bougie. It's just right there. Thank you. I'm bougie. I need to be walked to my car. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I was raised that's a gentlemanly thing to do anyway.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yep.
You started with I was raised. You know what I mean? Like, you were raised right. You know what I mean? Like, but that kind of segues into kind of the differences from being raised Gen X to how children are being raised today, not to get into the whole parenting thing, but just the whole Gen X thing. There are just things we did as kids that you don't do today. You know what I mean? And I heard somebody the other day get upset because somebody held the door open for her. She turned around. She's like, "You don't need to hold the door." And I was like,
frustrates
one of the
me.
guys at work held the door open for a woman and she was upset about it. And I had to pull her over. She was a potential client, which I hope they don't take her on as a client, whatever. But she wasn't a client for me because that would have been done.
Right.
My boss was meeting for, and she was like incensed that a man would think that she'd want the door open for her. It was interesting. And it's a different generation. I think that's weird, but it's also just different ideas of what, like, she thought of, like, she was, I don't know, weak, or I don't even know what she was thinking. Like, why would you get upset about that?
Mhm.
I can't explain that one. I have no words for that because it's an act of, if anything, it's just an act of kindness.
And it's
Right.
manners. It's just good manners.
But you know what?
Mhm.
I'm sorry, these young people, they really, in general, do not have manners. Period.
Do you
They
No,
guys
they
don't.
think that
don't.
really? Do you guys believe that really?
Yes, I mean, because even with our daughter, we have taught her manners, so she's not the norm. Let's just say it like that. She's the exception, not the norm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, please and thank you go a long way, and a lot of these kids forget to say it now.
Ooh.
Mhm.
You know, or may I? Can
Or
you
excuse me.
excuse me?
That part.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't
That
tell you how
part.
many times people just like walk in front of me or like rub my shoulder, like not rub, push my shoulder because I'll say it. Excuse me.
At
No,
the
excuse
at the
you.
happiest place on earth, I will stand right there, and people are coming, and I will stand and look at them, and then they finally catch a clue, and they'll go around. I'm not
Yeah.
moving.
Is that
Like,
I'm
Disney?
a
You're talking about Disney? Isn't that like the
Oh
capital
yeah,
of
but
kindness?
no,
And
no.
people are rude. People are people everywhere. They're
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
still rude.
Yeah.
yes.
do you think
I'm
people
a
are more rude now than they were back in the day?
No. People were
It's
rude.
about the same.
It's about the
Yeah.
same. No, now that part I won't. Nah, they still the same. People, a holes are a
It's a
holes.
different. I'll say it's a different kind of rude. They're so rude. Yeah.
I
They,
think
I
people are rude. People will call. Someone called me out the other day because I used the wrong pronoun. I think I told you guys this before.
oh yeah,
I used the wrong pronoun, and they were like incensed by it, like incensed. And
the entitlement. Yeah,
I was like, I apologize. I did not know that they go by they them. You know, I kept saying he. I didn't know. Like, how am I supposed to know? Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to know. But I guess you're not supposed to assume. Oh my God, I don't know.
I was gonna ask Alma because
Yeah.
you work with kids, like you see how they act. Like, do you think
Look at her
manners
face.
manners are decreased?
Yes,
Ah.
most definitely. But see, if
Mhm.
you come into my space, you're gonna have manners, or you will not get served. Basically, so you walk
Mhm.
in. It's good morning. It's hello. It's please. It's
Mhm.
thank you, and we start that the minute they walk through the door. Not all of this, Oh, can I have? Nope. And I'll stand there, and they finally, oh, good morning. Oh, good morning. How are you today? It's just one of those where it's like, no, so
Yep.
no, definitely. And then, definitely ran into some, parental figures who are like, they don't have to speak, they don't have to. And I'm like, well,
oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
Mm.
then
Okay,
then
but
then
people
then
without
they don't have to
children,
come
I
into
don't know
my
what that
office.
means. What do you mean they don't have to speak? Who don't have
So
to speak?
they don't have to greet
The child does not.
they don't have to greet anyone. They don't have to say
To
please
who?
to anyone
Right.
Anyone. So the
if they don't
parents are
want to.
not teaching the kid manners. They're not teaching them
And
to say
the
good
and
morning.
yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
wait. I need more information. So
So
parents come
basically,
into the school. The
so
parent come into the
basically,
school to meet
yes,
with you.
yes, and to say, oh, I my kid came and said that you made them say hello. Yes, I did. I did.
Okay, no, you're
Hi.
being. Are you being
Welcome to
funny?
No,
2025.
I'm not being. No, I'm not being funny. Yes, I did. Well, my
No,
Mm.
kid
no,
doesn't
not
have to.
you. I know you did you, but I'm saying
Oh,
the parents came in to tell you that the child said that you made them say good morning and hello,
Yes.
and that was a problem?
Yes.
Oh, hell to the no.
Yes.
There's no way.
These are the types of things that we're dealing with in the school setting now. Yes, those types of things.
I am shooketh. I swear to God, I am shooketh.
It's
To your
because
core, I
it's
can
kids
see
having kids.
that part.
Yes.
And so we have millennials now having kids who are Gen Zers who are now teaching the millennials not their entitlement, which is now passing down to these children.
Yeah, they have no social skills and they're teaching their children
no social skills.
Wow, the respect for elders to me was just not even. I don't even remember learning it. It's like you were born knowing you better respect your elders and you will say good morning and ma'am and sir. And well, I don't think we said
I'm gonna
No,
say this. It's very for me.
We said doña and we
Yeah.
were
Oh,
saying
but what I'm saying is that it's very, very cultural. For me, a lot of those lines are very cultural, and I can tell when it's, let's say, Latino families who are born here, or Latino families who are immigrants.
So let me guess, the ones who are immigrants are all okay and their children are well mannered and
they
say
still
yes, no.
they still respect the authority of the teacher.
Right.
If the teacher says, I'm gonna call your mom, oh, those kids are like besides themselves, like, no, please, I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
Yes. And the generations like myself who were born here and now have their that level of respect, that level of, is no longer.
Because it's very American to be, I don't know what it is. And, I'm not a parent. It's just what I see. This thing about being friends with your children seems to be a very common American thing. Like, it don't matter what age they are. Like, we're going to negotiate and we're going to have a conversation about why you stole that piece of candy when I told you couldn't have it. And I'm like,
no.
Wait,
how about you're going to get Nurse back in and you're going to go and you're going to tell them, I'm so sorry I took this, and it's like, no, I'm not going to let you take it with you. No, we're going to go back in. We're not having a conversation. I told you're behind. You cannot have this, and you're going to march yourself back and you're going to go put it back. So
do you ever get the ones that are like, I'm sorry I took this, but can I still have it?
No.
And you're not sorry, are you?
Exactly.
I just don't. I don't get that whole thing, and I don't remember. I mean, I was a very, and I know you guys are gonna laugh, but I really was a very quiet, kind of shy kid, except when it came to performing. I just, you know what I mean. I know.
Oh,
it's incredible. It's true. I was lovely. Yeah.
I know you lying.
No, it's not. It's true. I was a pretty quiet kid because I was always out of sorts, right? I was always out of place. I was always, this is after my mother died, but even before, I mean, I was really young. Even before, I was just, I was a good kid, but I don't ever. I was afraid of adults. I was afraid of getting either hit or dismissed or pushed away or whatever, because you always wanted your parents and your elders to be proud of you, to think well of you, to, you know what I mean? So, but now I feel like kids have a weird resentment towards their parents. I don't know if resentment's the right word, but like it's weird. It's just a weird dynamic.
I think that
I'm not saying all kids.
I understand what you're saying, but I think that, you know how they say you go to extremes. I think that we've taught this younger generation to love themselves, and that only their opinion matters and only what they think of themselves matters. And so then, they've invalidated that external need for validation, I'll say it, but it really, so I understand that part of it. You're not going to base your value on external validation, but it's not it's like the respect went out the window along
it's
with
like
that.
it has now become an entitlement.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
Um,
saw a really funny video of and I'm sure every culture probably has their version of it, but it was American versus Portuguese parents, and it showed the father coming into the kids' room. American first. Hey, honey, dinner's ready. Come on, let's go eat. We're gonna go eat now. I made your favorite spaghetti and meatballs. Oh, you don't like spaghetti and meatballs anymore? Oh, I'm sorry. What do you want? What do you want? Oh, you want Chinese? Sure, I'll order out, no problem. Then it switches to Portuguese. Hey, stop playing that stupid game. Come on, we're gonna eat. What you mean what we're gonna eat? Don't matter what you want. If you don't want to eat it, then you ain't gonna eat nothing. Come on, let's go.
That's right.
That part.
that's cultural.
That's cultural too, because that's us too. But
Mm-hmm.
I was telling when you guys talking, I was thinking about my mother would always say she could tell the difference between a city child and a southern child and how they were raised and their manners. And you would always, my mother says she can always look at someone and say, oh, their parents are from the South. I said, how you know that? Because that mama put them in check right there on the spot. And they say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. And they say please and thank you. And they get up and open the door, or they'll get up and do something. My mother says it all the time. But even culturally, she said, but I said, Mom, they're from Chicago. Yeah, but I bet you their mama was from Arkansas, or I bet you their mama was from Mississippi.
Right. See,
And
and
then
I've heard it differently. I've heard you can always tell a rich kid or a poor kid, right? Poor kids are always well mannered, at least back in the day when we were growing up. You know what I mean? Like poor kids always had good manners when they were outside of their own area, especially. You wouldn't be messing around. We didn't have nothing. And I mean, I remember we had to wear a uniform to go to school. And I only had one white shirt and one uniform jumper thing. Remember, Cynthia? Well, yeah,
Oh my God, yes, those ugly things.
ugly, ugly Catholic
Plaid.
schoolgirl plaid crap things or whatever. And we would have to wash it, and then the more it'd still be wet, and my mother would make us iron it so you could kind of get
To
it
dry it.
to dry it out, and it'd
I
still
had
be
to do
kind
that
of
too.
damp, but it'd have that nice little crease in the white right there. You know what I mean? Like, you'd
Yep.
be a little chilly, but it was clean, and you were
Yep.
looking proper. You know. And that's yeah, so it's kind of the same thing, the whole South thing and city kid, but it's also poor kids. At least where I was growing up, we had manners. If
Yeah.
you did, you would get the chancleta, man. You would get hit upside the head. There was none of this like, well, now I need you to go in a sit out. Or what do they call it? Go sit in the
Time out.
A timeout.
Time out. I remember my friends would be like, I was on a timeout. A timeout? I would have been grateful for a motherfucking timeout. Are you kidding me? I had to go to my room and read. Okay.
Go to your room. Thank you.
Ah.
I would have been stoned.
I used to love when
Again.
my friends are like, "Oh, sorry, I can't go out. I'm grounded." And I was like, "What does grounded mean?"
Shoot.
I'm like, I didn't know what grounded was. I just
Grounded.
if you did something bad, you were getting spanked or like getting something taken away.
Now
How
I
about I
didn't
got
get hit.
both?
You had both, yeah.
I got both.
Yeah. I never got hit. I only got hit once, and it wasn't by my mother, um, but my mother would do that look. And that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
The disappointment, but like the fierce, like, and you knew you were in trouble. You know,
Oh.
you knew you did something bad, and your
You
whole
actually did
shoulders
it
would
by
just like
yourself.
this.
Mhm.
And you'd be like, you would just feel horrible. And there was none of this stuff like a day later. Cause I remember watching the Huxtables, right? The Cosby Show, being like, I wish it was like that. What?
I said a
A
day
day later.
later. Please.
No, I'm just saying, do you remember like watching the Cosby Show and like they would get mad at the kids or whatever, and then they would go and have a conversation of what they did wrong and did you learn your list and blah blah. And I'd be like, oh, I wish it was like that. No, it'd be like a day later, you still be in trouble. A day later, you
No.
still feel like shit. You know what I mean? A day later, and your mom would never come, not my mother would never come up and give me a hug and be like, it's okay, baby, I understand. Never. That
So,
never.
so I will say that I was a combination of both. I've definitely got her. I mean, she'll tell you herself. I got her. But I
We got
also
her who? Who are we talking about?
our daughter.
Oh, Marissa, I'm
So
sorry.
she definitely got spanked. Definitely got spanked. Definitely. I think the favorite thing that we ever did was one time she wanted that DS, that handheld Nintendo. She wanted it bad for her birthday. She wanted. Oh my goodness! So we did. We got it. We got it for her. No, we got it for Christmas. It was
It's
Christmas
supposed to
time.
be
We got it for
Christmas.
Christmas, and we, it was 3 stories. So it was the landing. She would slide down the stairs.
And we told her
And we
stop.
told her, you need to stop because you're going to hurt yourself. You need to stop because you're going to hurt yourself. So then one time she slid and she went head first and hit the wall.
And,
I mean, like she hit the wall.
and put a dent in the
And
wall.
I was and oh, I lost it. Of course she was hurt. I hurt her some more. She 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 we had to take her to the doctor, the whole nine. Well, then this was maybe a week before Christmas. So then
Yeah.
Christmas came and she opened up her gift and it was the DS, right? The box. But inside was a note from Santa that said, "Oh, I heard that you weren't, behaving well, and that you hurt yourself on the wall. So we're gonna see how you're doing by your birthday, and you might get your gift then."
Oh,
Her birthday's not until May.
oh, that's
Oh.
awesome.
So then she was, she lost it, of course, crying. And then we sat down and we said, "Well, do you know why that happened?" Yes, and she was able to explain why it
Did you
happened.
give it to her earlier, though? You didn't wait till May, did you?
No,
Oh,
yes, we
she
did.
got it on her birthday.
We got it on her birthday.
We are cold blooded with it.
And
Cold.
that's the thing. You have to follow through.
Yeah.
You can do a different style of parenting, whatever, but the thing is you have to follow through. And yes,
And not give in. Yep.
So they understand, yes, why they got in trouble, but you don't wait a day. You get them on the spot so they understand, oh, what I just did was not okay. And then you explain to them why it wasn't okay. But you don't just, no. No. All
I'm
this
shook when I see
parenting
them
stuff.
kids talking back to their parents in the grocery store of all ages. I'm shook by that too. Like kids that talk back. I'm like,
And I'm the one. Ooh, you let
your
you
child
let talk to you like that?
I can imagine your daughter, the kid saying, "What'd you get for Christmas?" I got this bump on my head.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But see,
Yeah.
unlike us, my mother would torture me. I would get in trouble. She's like, "Okay, I'm gonna get you," and so she would make me wait like days, and like I'm sitting there looking over my shoulder, and so then what she used to do, she would wait till I fell asleep and snatch the covers off and whoop my tail in my sleep, so I had nowhere to go. So then,
okay, that's mean.
no,
I know
but
what story.
My mom did that to me too.
see, I'm not the
But
only
wait,
one.
but you gotta wait to
But
hear what he
wait,
did.
this one right here,
Oh.
I got in trouble. I knew it was coming. I was like, okay, I can't live like this. So every night I just started stacking books in my clothes. And so I went to sleep. I put books like the soft books, the little foldable books. I would put them in my clothes, in my pants, in my pajamas, and I would cover up. And so one night I knew it was coming. She snatched the covers off and she's whooping my tail, and I'm not moving. So then she's like, "What?
Oh, she's
Get up,
mad.
get up, boy." And so then she sees me all bulked up. "Take off your clothes." Books are falling out of my clothes. All she could do was laugh.
Yeah, that's so
Walked out of the
funny.
room. She walked out of the room and she had to laugh.
She
And
laughs still
She
today.
still laughs to this day because I couldn't take. My mother would. She played mind games with me. She would just
Yeah, that's hard. That's
my
hard.
mother.
That's
She was.
But she was a single mom
She was
raising a young man.
I
So
know. No, I get it. I'm not a parent. I am not judging nobody. I am not a parent. I am not judging. I'm just saying that's hard.
I applaud your ingenuity.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was good. How old were you then?
8.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got in trouble the
That's
next year at
hard,
9
right?
because
Yeah.
I cussed.
You
I can't
say.
say everything I said, but I cussed out a teacher at 9. And so
At a Christian school.
at a Christian school where there was
It happens.
whereas but no, but it was bad. It's too blue for the show. And so
Yeah, he
I
cannot.
cannot. So I have to tell you in the green room because I can't serve you.
Can't.
And so I not only did I get in trouble there because that was when they used to swat you with paddles because it was
Yeah.
private school. So I
Yeah.
got swatted with a paddle. Then I got home and my mother got me again. And then it was on my 9th birthday, by the way. And I had gotten a 10-speed bike for my birthday, which I had to sit. She set it by the front door and made me look at it every day for a month. My mother was cold. She was cold-blooded. She would make me look at it for a month. And she said, and you better not move. I mean, that tire better not move. She marked it like the
Right, she marked it. That's for real. I knew that was coming. I knew
she
that was
marked it, and it did not move. If I touched it, if I sneezed on it, she knew. So she was like, my mother was just, she was just she was a genius with her punishment because I never forgot them, and I never forgot the lesson behind it. Whereas these parents don't do that now. They're like, oh, sit in the timeout. Did you learn your lesson? What was the lesson?
Hey, listen, I'm not advocating I am not a parent. I don't want to get no DMs. I don't want to get no emails about you're advocating hitting. I'm not advocating nothing.
No, I'm not saying that now.
Yeah, no. We're just talking about back in the day, how it was, and just the differences that happen today. I think there needs to be a happy medium. I think the biggest problem I see as an outsider, and I am valid in being able to say this because I do have children in my life, so I can say this part, is I don't know where that line happened where people thought it was more important to have your kids like you than to parent them. And I think there is a big confusion with that. Like, I know when you're older, your kids become your friends or whatever because they respect you and they're adults or whatever. But that whole beginning from like birth to like 21 or something needs to be you being an adult. And that has always been my problem. Always.
No, what I was gonna say was that my mom did that to me when I was probably about 8 or 9. I had lied and said that I was at the after school program, and I was really at my friend's house, her house was literally right behind the school. She found out it happened to be the one day that she called the school to ask for me to tell me that she was going to be home late from work or something, and I was not there. And somehow found out that I was at my friend's house, called my friend's house. She answered, asked if I was there. She puts me on the phone and she said, "You better get home now, and I will see you when I get home." I flew out that house, ran home, got settled like if I was in bed asleep. Oh no, that didn't work either. She knew I was not asleep. She took the covers off and beat my ass.
I came in on the good part.
Mom beat her ass. That's right. Yeah.
I just heard beat her ass.
I remember your mother, so I 100% true. I totally believe all of that. Yeah. May she rest in peace. Yeah, she was hardcore though, because she used to beat you guys with the cord and shit. The
extension cord, the telephone.
Yeah,
cord.
my sisters used to get that, and I got the brush. I used to get the brush and the chocolate.
Yeah.
Corporal punishment is not cool. I just want to say that.
Yeah, it's not, but it's a different cultural, different time, and no
but we all turned out great.
We're fine.
I mean, I never got hit, but I think there's the emotional abuse part of things that I think is kind of what I've always said this, like physical pain is not really the problem. It's the emotional kind of psychology part of it that I think messes you up even more. But it's also good because you need to know rules. You need to understand things. I mean, and I get it. I've never hit a child in my life, nor would I, because they're not my kids or whatever. But I'm not against people parenting. I'm against people parenting badly, which seems to be the norm and not the exception nowadays. So, and I mean, even kids that I work with, and I say kids because they're Gen Z. I think there's some parts of them that I love. I'm just trying to get my water. 1 minute. There's one part of them that I love, because there's so much about them. Like, they grew up with technology. They're not afraid of stuff. They're very like, they have this independence. They know, like, they want to work smarter, not harder. And I kind of love that whole idea of, because we're like, we'll work 7 days a week, whatever we need for our little stupid check every week. And they're not like that. They're like, I'm getting paid from 9 to 5. That's all I'm working, and I will do my job. And I love that, But there's that other part of it where I just see how they lack just things like discipline and structure and manners. And, like, it's not always about you. And you don't learn that unless it's always been about you, right? If it's always about you in your household because you were the little kid, then that's how you're going to behave in the workplace, and then get upset when no one gives a shit about what you're saying because it's about a team, So I see how it reflects back on the workspace, and I have a couple of people who, like, they won't do things. I'll tell them you need to do these 4 things or whatever, and they'll be like, all right, well, I'll get to it. I'm like, yeah, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm the boss, right? And you need to do this. And if you don't do it, this is going to be another reason why when I fire your ass, oh, Carmen, you're so dramatic. Like, even saying that, I know. They will say that. They will say, God, okay, I'll do it now. Like, I'm not kidding. It is, and this is the norm in the workspace. That's why I can tell it's bad parenting. And I'm not just blaming, it's the environment, it's a different thing. Like, also not winning. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. Like, we'll give an award, not an award, but we'll give people like a bonus and say, you did such a great job. Thank you so much for working on that project. We want to give you, $1,000, whatever it is, it depends, it's a little percentage of what the job profit was. And it's not all the time, but it's when somebody does something exceptional, whatever. The moping that happens because other people didn't get it, instead of finding happiness for that person, the moping or doing like a self-analysis, like, oh man, next time I'm going to try to do, what I mean? Yeah.
The lack of incentive.
Yes.
It's the lack of incentive. The fact of saying, you know what, dang, they got it. What did they do that I'm not doing? The self-reflection, there's none of that anymore. And the lack of accountability of taking responsibility for your ill preparedness or your lack of incentiveness. It's just
no, that's true. And it's a fierce jealousy, which, I mean, we've all been jealous, right? We've all had, but the fierce jealousy, as opposed to it being about incentive or a self-analysis or whatever it is. Yeah, that part for sure. So, wow, I didn't know we were going to have a whole show about parenting. I love this for us. Not was on the agenda at all. Yeah. How was your parenting, Rick? I mean, you're a dad.
Yeah, y'all heard that the other day. Oh, for my son, you mean? I thought you meant me and my dad.
No,
because y'all already heard that.
Yeah, no, nothing about you. Your son is a doctor.
He's a doctor.
No, from birth, I put the fear of God in him, so he became like me. All I gotta do is just give you a look, and you shaking already.
I can't even imagine you being that parent, but I believe you. Right, Adam? Mario and all my totally see it. Cynthia and Rick, you guys are nice people. I don't know.
My kids would disagree.
I know you're mean.
What you saying? You saying I'm not nice?
You can even ask my nieces. They were like, "Oh no, Cynthia's strict," and they already know not to lie to me because they already know I find out. So
I forgot that you have a whole facade going on because everyone thinks you're the sweet, nice person on the show, but we've seen your villainous, like evil meanness, like the truth of who you are. It's true. I know y'all think she's the sweet one and the kind one. She's not. She's not. I'm the sweet and kind one. Y'all think I'm the mean one. That's the weird thing. Ain't it true? It's so true. I'm the kind one. You're the mean one. It's so weird.
It is.
It's true.
I'll admit to that. It is true.
Yep. See? But Rick, go ahead. What did you do to make your son be so fabulous and become a doctor?
If I said something, I said it once. Now go do this, and that's it. If you didn't do it, you pay the consequences. You know? Oh
So
no, I'm gonna tell you again. I'm gonna tell you no, one time, and that's it.
What
Not
were the
play.
consequences? Waterboarding.
Whatever he enjoys, he ain't doing it.
I'm so kidding. For the listeners, I'm so
Yeah.
kidding.
I know,
That is not Rick at
we
all.
don't believe in
We
corporal
don't believe in
punishment. Like, we're all like,
Whatever he enjoys doing, he ain't doing that now.
That's it.
That's all.
And how's your relationship with your son now,
Good.
even with that level of discipline?
Always was good. Just, I mean, teenage years, you know, it was a little rough because
Well,
you know,
that's all of us.
rebellious and all that, blah, blah, blah. Every excuse not to see me. I'm sick. I got too much homework. Blah blah. Mind you, I'm driving 45 minutes to go see him.
right.
Every excuse in the book. But then, you know, things
That's being a
change.
teenager.
Yeah. Now we're
It's
good.
like,
I want to touch back on something that you said before about, you know, people feeling like because that person got something, they have to get it too. It's that participation trophy mentality, you know, of today. And
real.
yeah.
yeah, most definitely. Like, even though, yes, they have this work life balance thing down to a T, but they really don't. They do lack initiative. They definitely, you know, lack organizational skills.
Oh, for
And
sure. For
and
real.
and just the work ethic. Okay, fine, you're only going to work 9 to 5, but in that 9 to 5, you need to show me what you can do. I don't want to be hounding you and coming after you every minute. Did you already do what I asked you? Did you already? Guess what? It's a write up now. Let me go ahead. I don't play. I'm like, I just don't play. Here's your email. We're gonna meet tomorrow at this time. Here's the paper copy of everything. Here's all this stuff, and then you're gonna go take this class because I need to know that you know how to do it. And so then now give me an excuse and don't do it when I ask you to do it the first time. I just don't. And it's like, and when they find somebody like that, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
this is-
yeah. I get that all the time. Yeah.
I feel like this is becoming toxic. Well, there you go.
They learned some big phrases growing
There
up.
you go. You can go ahead. And literally, just like I use it with the parents, I will use it with, you know, coworkers, whoever. You can look up the policy. You can call here's the number to call this office, and they will
I think
let you know.
sometimes it's not
It's
even like I just find it's not even worth it anymore. Like, I mean, I know what you're saying. The people I work with, all of them, especially like I'm exhausted by the amount of complaining.
yes.
Like everything is so much work. And I'm like, you have no idea what it is to work hard. I'm sorry. Like when I think of my mother being a housekeeper, or I'm thinking of like people now that work real jobs where they're sweating and they're manual work.
Manual labor.
No, right. Real labor. Like I'm like, nothing I do will ever compare to that type of work. Nothing. When I first moved to California, I got a free room and board in Westwood from a gentleman, an older gentleman. His name was Mr. Nasher. May he rest in peace. But he was like in his 70s or 80s, old. He was a frail guy, and he had someone who came in and cleaned his house on a like twice a week regularly, and he had a nurse who came and he played the piano. So he had an ad that said, you know, free room and board for light housekeeping. So when I first moved here, I took that place, and you have your room. I had to buy a mattress. You had to buy your own little furniture or whatever. There was a desk or something. So it wasn't much. And you did light housekeeping. Okay, light housekeeping. So he would make breakfast in the morning. You would have to clean up after him. You know what I mean? There was a side bathroom, not his bathroom, but there was another side bathroom. You had to clean that bathroom. You had to sweep the kitchen. You had to take care of the garden in the back. You know what I mean? Not the landscaping part, but just like, you know, make sure the bird feeder had feed in it or whatever, and pick up any of the leaves that maybe until the gardener came or whatever, little stuff. You know what I mean? I did that for 8 months, crying my eyes out every night because it was so hard to do. You know what I mean? But it was hard. I had just graduated from college, and I was trying to find a job, and I was doing like I was cleaning the little bathroom and cleaning the floors and in the kitchen. And that's my whole point. It's like I knew how hard that work was, and it wasn't even the full housekeeping shit. You know what I
No.
mean? Because he was like, Carmen, come over here. Like he'd be on the piano and he would have his whatever, his liquor or whatever, and can you come and clean up this stuff? And he'd have like peanuts or something, and just the amount of work and getting the vacuum or whatever. And I know I'm making it like a big, but that's what I'm saying. Is like I will never know what real hard labor is. So when I hear these motherfuckers who have done not even that much, and they can't do shit like filing. I have to tell you, filing seems to be the thing Gen Z cannot do. I'm like,
No.
I need you guys to file this. They're
No.
like, what? I need you to file this stuff. We need it done.
Paperless generation.
That
They
part.
cannot file.
And it's like they forgot their ABCs because it's
Yes.
like it's so
Ooh.
hard for them.
Oh my goodness.
My
Yeah.
God.
It's a whole thing. It's just
I will never know, or I'll always be respectful. I love anybody I love the people that work for my clients in their homes, like the housekeepers, the landscapers, whatever. And also I always work on my Spanish with them, you know what I mean? So it's like I was like speaking in Spanish so I could work on my Spanish. But they are the most lovely people. They work the hardest. They make the least amount of money. You know what I mean? They're so kind. They're such good people, and they are treated like shit by everyone.
No, that's the one thing that I made sure that, our daughter knows her roots and where she came from. My mother came to this country, and that's how she made her living. She made her living housekeeping.
Yep.
I started going to work with my mother when I was 11 years old.
Yep.
And she would put me on the bus to go to one of the houses. She would start another house. She would finish, and then she would meet me and help me finish. Like that. Those were my summers. I didn't know what summer camp was.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what.
Camp.
I mean,
Oh.
you get what I'm trying to say? It was like,
I
what is
didn't go
that?
to summer camp either.
I was
Me
like,
either.
what they do on TV. I want
I
to do
did.
that. But I mean, I did exactly. I mean, but
Just once.
but that's why I made sure that she understood. But she got to do summer camp.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so good. That's so good. Yeah.
But she also understood the hard work
That came with
and the
it.
sacrifice that came with
Right.
it. So
Yeah.
anywhere that she's gone, I don't care where it is, she's gone, to great places,
Yeah.
great
Right.
places.
Yeah.
And I always tell her, wherever you go, the people that you want to know are the people who are
That's
working
right.
behind the house, the
Yeah.
people who are working in the offices,
In the
people who are
restaurant.
cleaning.
Yep.
Those are the people that you want to know, because guess what? They know some of everyone and everything. They know who everyone is. They know where
They know
everyone
all the secrets.
they do. And they will be the ones who will help you. I said, nobody else is gonna. I said, and it's been very true for her.
Perfect example when she moved to Switzerland, and the people who worked in the kitchen and in the in the service areas of the school, those were her lifesavers.
Yeah. They're
They
always
were the
going to
ones
be.
who looked out for her. Yeah.
And that's what really got her through.
No. Oh my God. Wow. Well, that was a show I wasn't expecting. Wow.
It was a gift that kept giving and you didn't know it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I learned a lot, we are the best generation. That's what I've learned. We were raised well, though.
Agreed.
Yep.
There were bad things about the way we were raised, though, too.
Yeah.
We were all pretty much latchkey kids, I assume.
I was, yes.
Which, for those people who don't know what that means, we didn't have a
Google
lot of supervision. We'd come home after school, and it comes from having a key around your neck, and you'd let yourself in, and you'd make your own food, and you'd do your homework, and you'd play outside till the lights came on or whatever. And
you drank from a water hose.
I know. Isn't that funny that people think that's such a big deal? I'm like,
not at all.
but if you say it, they get like kids are. That was a big thing on TikTok. You drank from a water hose?
Yes,
like,
we drank from. That was our water fountain. Yes, and we kept playing and kept going. We didn't have video games. We had Atari back in the day. We had Nintendo.
Centipede. I loved Centipede.
Oh, we went to the arcade.
Yeah.
The corner store had the machines that you put.
Yeah.
You go to the bodega or the liquor store, you stay there for 4 hours playing video games in the store. And you knew everybody on your block, and everybody take turns, and you bring your stack of quarters and you stack up saying, I'm next. I'm up next. That was the stuff I remember.
And then you would watch all the elders who you knew were all gang members playing pool.
Yeah.
Playing pool. And all
drinking and smoking.
ladies of the evening who were so nurturing and loving to you as a kid being in the pool hall. You know what I mean? Right? You remember, right? What was the name of that pool house right there where Hilo was? What was it right there? That's where we used to go play arcades all the time. It was a bowling alley and a pool hall.
Yes.
It had
Oh my
arcades.
God.
And there were a bunch of like gangsters. I mean, they weren't. They were just older men and ladies. I was like,
call it what it was back in the
call
days.
it what it was.
Back in the 70s, they was calling pimps and hoes.
I'm just saying it was what it was. We didn't know what was behind those other doors. We didn't care. We were just hanging out, man. But you know what? I really was so naive. I think most of us were.
You were,
but you felt safe around all these people. They didn't harm any of the children. I mean, not that I know.
Well,
because that was our village.
We weren't, And I think that now these younger kids have access to so much information. It's
that we didn't.
Yeah, that we did not.
Ooh, that's a good point too. Yeah. Wait, Cynthia, what were you saying? That was our village, right? That was our
village. Yeah. And everyone knew everyone, and everyone could discipline you.
But I think that's part of the thing, though, right? Too, right? The discipline too. But there was also that part of it too, is that when anything did happen that was bad or wrong or horrible to a child, because it did happen, and I think that's what ended up making this. The pendulum has gone the other way, because there would be a child abducted or something horrible would happen, and people got really afraid and scared or whatever, and then the pendulum went the other way, where there's all of these like we have to have, what do you call them when you go and play dates? Oh my God. Like scheduling, you know. And I remember talking to Juliana one time, and she said, actually, she was on the podcast. She said this. She said the whole idea that she wishes it was like in the 80s when your parents didn't have to come with you to go hang out with your friends. Because, and I was like, what are you talking about? But because they have to schedule play dates, that means the parents have to get along, and then they go and hang out with each other, and then the kids have to play with the other kids. You know, and she hated that. And I was like, I didn't even think about that. What?
Yeah, but the parents, for us, like my best friends Corey and Chris, our mothers knew each other, but they didn't all hang. Like we would just, I want to go to Corey's house. Okay, is his mama gonna be home? I'm dropping you off, and then I'll see you later. That was it. It was like, I understand what you're saying. It was not a big thing, but
it wasn't a big thing. Well, I mean, I never had the play date, the scheduled thing, but yeah, I mean, you did have to. But we would lie all the time. What?
No sleepovers.
Oh, nope. They can come stay at your house, but you couldn't stay at theirs.
I was older. I don't have that experience because I was staying at people's houses all the time. But that's because it was I didn't have my parents. So
yeah.
No. So you guys couldn't go stay over at people's houses. Yeah.
But
they could come to your house, but you couldn't go to theirs. Yeah. Like my best friends came to my house, but I never went to. I went to their house one time, and then all hell broke loose. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, now I'm all nostalgic and everything, but wow. All right. Well, anyway, thank you, everyone. It was great to hang out, and remember, at the end of the day, it really is all about
the joy.
Thanks for stopping by. All About the Joy. Be better and stay beautiful, folks. Have a sweet day.